Hi, welcome to T3 Teach Tech Theater. I'm Kirsten Giard Branch.
And I'm Julie Benitez. One of the things we want to talk about today is the importance and value of a $5 gift card or some candy. There are a lot of people who help us do what we do. This is not an island of one. It feels like an island of one all the time, I know that, but there are people who can reach out and help us. When Kirsten and I taught at La Jolla Playhouse in the summertime, we frequently would go to people that we had relationships with, and we would ask for things, not huge things, but, hey, do you happen to have a piece of 18 by 18 piece of Luan? Or can we have some props that we can have the kids touch that you've used in shows, whatever it is. And they were more than happy to help us. Everyone was more than happy to help us with whatever we asked for. And that was wonderful. And at the end, we wanted to make sure that we let them know we appreciated them. Doesn't it feel good to be appreciated? I mean, as I said, we all feel like we're islands of one. So just a teeny little appreciation makes you feel seen, helps the relationship between you and that person. So whether it is making sure that you've got an extra special card, for example, the custodians don't ever know what to do with the theater. I'm going to tell you that right now. Because we're still there when everyone else is gone, and they're coming to clean, and we're like, yeah, don't even come in here yet. We're still in the middle of rehearsal. The fact that I have technical theater classes, so we're often emptying our own trash cans outside. And when it comes to showtime, I've got a house staff of students who are supposed to be going down the aisles and making sure everything's ready and cleaned. And I certainly don't want the custodian to have to work extra for me, because the custodian's my good friend. The custodian's the one that can get me into the office when I forgot to pick up something before the office closed. The custodian's the one who knows where to find a fan when all of a sudden I need to air out an area. So I want to keep the custodian on my good side. And I had a custodian who, whenever it was showtime was coming up, and I'd make sure I had a couple of extra boxes of hot tamales because John liked hot tamales. Or I have a custodian right now who always feels unappreciated. I mean, they often do, because everyone just takes them for granted. So I talked with him, and I made sure he gave him a holiday card, things so that they knew I cared and I see them. That's just so important. And I know Kirsten made sure she was known in the office and was helping people know who she was.
I think one of the things that's really important, and we certainly stress, is the fact that you've got to see who to bring into your village from who is on staff. And doesn't matter where I go, I make sure to develop a relationship with the secretaries, the principal secretary, finance secretary, VP secretaries, all of those folks, because I know inadvertently, just by the nature of my job and the kids I have, I am creating more work for them just being on campus. So I want to make sure that we at least have a relationship that is a positive relationship. As I've said 100 million times in these videos, I'm brand new to a school, and it was very important to me to come into that facility, even though I had been teaching and doing theater for 100 billion years. First thing I did as I was meeting folks is I came in low status and just, I am here and I am here to learn, and I appreciate everything you guys are doing, and thank you, thank you. And this is not something that is disingenuous. This is not walking around kissing people's butts, but this is cultivating an awareness and appreciation of people that are going to help me in surviving this crazy job that I have. Julie and I have both had people, when we used to do our live workshops, that have kind of come in and, almost with the flip of the cape and the toss of the hair. And, well, if I don't get what I want, I always threaten to quit, or I just remind the principal that they need me. And interestingly enough, we find that those people do not have a longevity in theater programs. One of our most problematic folks ended up having their program cut altogether because the school didn't want to deal with that kind of attitude anymore. So that's just kind of to say, make sure that you are cultivating relationships. I suck at attendance. I have always sucked at attendance. I think I will. That should be on my tombstone. Here's lies Kirsten. She sucks at attendance. But at the beginning of every year, I go into that attendance office and I hand the attendance clerk a box of candy with a note that says, this is apologizing for all of the problems I'm going to cause this year. And it's become kind of this running joke and a ha 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 ha. And I think it's really helped because when I get these little reminders, hey, you didn't take attendance, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, shooting back in an email. And then they get back, I get a smiley face or one of those like faces in the email. I know that they know that, I'm genuinely sorry. It's just, that's part of my appeal.
And there's so many people on campus, custodians, secretaries, like she said, the ASB director. There's a lot of things that you can help each other. And again, it's not like kissing ass, but do I want to make sure that ASB touts my shows on their newscasts and on their Instagram and stuff like that? Of course. Do I want my kids to have something to build? Sure. So that's a match made in heaven. Are they looking to have stuff built for homecoming? Sure. I can have kids cut out things out of Luan and paint stuff. I can give you feedback of how to best build the big entrance thing you're trying to create for homecoming or for prom or whatever it is. Making sure that you're the school facilities manager, that you have a good relationship with them. Because I had a good relationship with my MSF from years ago, we've had several since then, she was able, I didn't even think about it. She was able to use money for textbooks for my tech theater class because wood is a textbook. That's what we were using in class. She saves me $1,000 a year. Now, is that good enough to build a whole show? No, but it's a great way to start off a year to have $1,000 of something from Home Depot. And then often I can get another $600 or $800 later. So I'm like, hey, can I get anything you got left? And she knows that. She knows to think about that. She knows to look out for me and that I'm always looking out for her because there's a lot of people who don't tell her things like, hey, do you know that one bathroom is leaking? She's like, no. I'm like, well, it looks like it's been leaking all weekend. It's just looking out for each other. Or your finance clerk. Like Kirsten said, I know that I make her a lot more work. So coming in, I'm like, how can I help? What can I do? What's the best way for it to work for you? What's the best way for this paperwork to work for you? I want to do whatever makes you happy because I know I'm a lot of extra work.
It's creating those connections, and it's that sense of teamwork, and that's that sense of camaraderie. It's genuine. All of the things that we're talking about and all of the people that I interact with or that Julie and I interact with at La Jolla Playhouse are people we genuinely like. But we also know that we need to continue to cultivate that acquaintance or that friendship because, again, we can be high maintenance unintentionally, but sometimes it's part of the gig. So that glorious $5 Starbucks card, that's a drink. And I know that when my students, we teach high school, so you don't get a lot of teacher gifts, but occasionally if I get a kid that hands me a $5 Starbucks card, I'm like, oh, Starbucks. And I love that person forever. It's just that moment of saying, I see you. I appreciate everything you're doing. I know that you're part of my tribe, and I thank you for it. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to email us at teachtechtheater@gmail.com or check out our website and become a member at www.teachtechtheater.org. And we'll look forward to talking to you again. Bye.
Bye.